Randy,
Yeah.
the 16th of January.
Halfway.
That means over 2 weeks is gone.
Yeah, we're halfway through
Yeah.
the month.
Are you still sticking to your New Year's resolution?
I don't even remember what my New Year's resolution was. So that's how far back there it fell.
Yeah, yeah. You and me both, buddy. Good to see you, man. Tell people who you are.
Yeah, Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina, director for our professional center. We're based here in Winston, but as I say a lot, we have clients all over. So if you happen to be watching this show or our Wednesday show, feel free to contact me and try to get you on the calendar as soon as we can. Happy to help. And a lot of folks coming to me at this time of year, Teddy. A lot of I'll call it New Year's resolution, yeah, and get a new job crowd. It's human nature sometimes to kind of turn the page and say, all right, let's do it. And now's the time. So I've been pretty busy here of late, but I'm happy to help and I love what I do. So that's a little bit about me. But Teddy, how about a little bit more about you?
Yeah. So for those who've never met me, I teach LinkedIn as a business tool. I do, one-on-one coaching. I have a Teachable Academy with today 4 brand new courses on it.
Okay.
YouTube channel with 2,000 plus videos, all about using LinkedIn as a business tool. Love doing corporate training programs and public speaking across the globe. And but every week, Randy and I get together and we cut up and we play and we laugh and we joke, and then we get serious. And on Mondays, we bring Randy will share a story, I'll share a story. We'll tell you about our special guest coming up on our Wednesday show, 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Really cool conversation coming up this week. And then we end it with a tip or two. And Randy and I try to get serious. But before we do that, one of Randy's requirements for his job, for him to keep his job, is he's got to do some research on trivia.
I wouldn't let you down, Teddy, but I have to commend you and also Cindy Martin on a great show last week. I had a work conflict, so I needed to attend that. But a big audience. So I'm glad that you still let me come on today. I had a feeling after that from last week that I might get the old pink slip. So
stay tuned, buddy. Stay tuned.
Ooh, okay. Well, here goes. Here's the research. By the way, it's Martin Luther King Day today. So celebrations, recognition, and such going on all across the country, to include here in the Triad. So if you're so inclined and have the ability to attend, please feel free to do that. I did a little bit of research on Martin Luther King. I found something I had no idea of. His actual name was Michael Luther King. I don't know when he formally changed it, but it was Michael and not Martin. To start
Randy, here's probably what happened when he was a youngster.
Yeah.
He couldn't write Michael. He was scribbling. It kind of looked like Martin, and is probably decided to change it. That's what I'm going with, buddy.
Could be. At least the initials stay the same, MLK. But so he was born actually on January 15th, so yesterday. But the year was 1983. President Reagan signed into law the federal holiday, and it's the third Monday in January. So I found that interesting that his name actually was Michael to get started. Also births on this date, a little trivia for you. You'll get this one, Teddy. You're so smart. He's from Paris. His name is André Michelin.
Is he Andre the Giant?
No, think of his last name, Michelin.
Oh, he's that big white puffy dude that does advertisements for Michelin tires.
Yeah, he's the guy that founded the company. And a few months back, I always do this trivia, and he actually put out the Michelin Guide. I don't know if you remember I was mentioning it, but back in the day, I mean, there weren't many cars on the road. So he put out a guide, almost like you think of AAA might do or something like that, where it has all these different places that you can visit.
Yeah.
And he would give that away. Maybe he sold it, probably give it away to encourage people to get on the road and use more tires.
Yeah.
Right. But it was a place like a big atlas where you could go and look at different cities. And again, you have to drive to get there, and tires didn't last long those days. So I'm sure it was a very self-serving thing to do, but that's something he did. Also, another trivia. This fellow was born in 1917. His name was Carl Karcher.
Carl Karcher.
Yep.
Oh, did he create potato chips?
Close. Now, well, No, but he is Carl of Carl's Jr., the burger
Wow.
joint. Yeah, so
He
he
a big
founded.
round puffy guy too.
I don't know. He might have been AJ Foyt, famous
Huh.
IndyCar driver, born on this date, 1935, four-time Indy winner. That's amazing.
Yeah.
People who passed away on this date, trivia for you. The year was 1901. A fellow named Hiram Revels, Revels, passed
No, no,
away. What's he famous for?
yeah. No,
Kind of coincides with the MLK thing today because he was the first African American in Congress. He was a senator from Mississippi
Senator
in the
Rebels.
1870s. Yeah, so I didn't know that. Also, a little couple of trivia's. These folks passed away. Ted Cassidy, and the year was 1979. Who is
That's
he?
Butch's big brother.
Yeah, Adam's family.
Cassidy, Butch Cassidy.
No, I was going to say
I'm wrong.
he played Lurch. He was
Lurch. I love
Lurch on
Lurch.
Adam's family, and also on this date, 2014, Russell Johnson passed away.
Is that basketball guy?
Not that guy. No, this guy was the professor on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, Lordy, really?
Yep. Yeah, he passed away on this date. Some events. Christopher Columbus in 1493 left the New World to head back to Spain. Found out he left his cell phone back. So
I hate when that happens.
He had to hop a boat and get back and get his cell phone. You know, I hate to leave home without it. Maybe it was his American Express card. That could be too. On this date, 1868, the first refrigerator car was patented in Detroit by a guy who had a fish business. So he needed to keep the fish cold and figure out a way to, I guess, make the car itself a big old refrigerator.
Cool.
So he's got that going for him, which is nice. Here's a trivia piece for you. 1919, the 18th Amendment was ratified. What's that one?
Oh, man. Everybody has to have shoelaces?
Yeah, well, that might have been the 20th. I don't remember. But this one was the prohibition of alcohol. So anyway, there's that. And one final one, the year was 1962. Filming began on the very first James Bond film. Now, I'm not going to ask you to how many of the films you can name, but do you know the name of that film in 1962?
No.
You're smart. Actually, it's Dr. No.
Ah!
Well, you got it right, and you didn't even know it.
I got it right.
Isn't that cool? So that's that. Hey, quick story for you. I had a meeting at work a little while back, and we had an icebreaker, as you do in a lot of meetings, kind of an icebreaker, get to know people that you may not be familiar with. But I had never heard of this game, and I had a blast. It's called Blank Slate. Blank Slate.
Yeah.
And it's if you remember the match game, the TV show.
Yeah, my grandmother told me about that, Randy. That was before my time.
I'm with you. But let's say the word is dirty blank. Yeah. And so then you would have to come up with dirty laundry, dirty whatever.
Dirty dishes.
Dirty dishes. So that's the premise, is you have to fill in the blank.
Oh,
and
man.
depending on how many other teams also use the same word, that dictates how many points you get. So it's a fun way to kind of think a little bit and to have a little fun at the same time. So we just really enjoyed it. I got a blast out of it, and I think I may go pick up that game. I just need to find at least 3 other people willing to put up with me to play it, Eddie.
you yourself and I?
Yeah, me, myself. I think you probably need 4. Yeah. I don't you probably need 4 teams or 4 individuals. That would be my guess. But
good way to meet people is
it's not a one. It's a group kind of thing to get to a group involved. It's not like playing checkers or chess where it's just 2 people. So there's that. So what you got, Teddy? What's going on with you?
Here's my story, Randy. Yep. This is a little serious.
Okay.
Modeling.
Are you going to be a model?
Well, I turned in my modeling card years ago. No, this is about how people model others, how people mimic others. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine, Merikay Roche, you know Merikay, he posted on LinkedIn a story today, and or at least I saw it on there today. He may have posted it last week. And it was a video about how children model their adults. Children model their parents. And I actually had witnessed that real life with 2 grandsons I have, with the same mom. The 2-year-old grandson is modeling good and bad, of his 8-year-old brother. His 8-year-old brother is modeling, my opinion, good and bad from his dad.
Really?
So, and I'm watching it in real life play out. I'm watching this 2-year-old act like his older brother, and the older brother who's acting like his dad. And, good and bad. And I'm like, I have never visually seen that to that degree and that clearly to me. And so that just tells me we got to be careful what we're doing in public and even with those next generations, because they're mimicking or modeling us. So we need to pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, we do. And a lot of times you just never know who might be watching you, and how the words or the actions that you put out there may impact them, good or bad. So
absolutely.
Good point. Yeah.
All right, man. Wednesday, Merikay Hunt. She's used to be in the Winston-Salem area. I think she lives on the ocean side of the state now. Really smart lady, really passionate lady in this whole idea of helping us grow and be better. Well, Merikay had a problem on the internet, had a problem on LinkedIn.
Okay.
About a LinkedIn member who she thought she could trust, and she shouldn't have.
She was on our show, what, a year or two ago?
Yeah, I think a couple of years ago. But she's going to come on the show and she's going to talk about trust but verify. And really, it's going to be a really interesting conversation. She's going to tell the story and help us understand on social media as well as in life how we should trust yet verify. Really looking forward to this conversation. By the way, Merikay is in that same world of Rich Lentz, who was just on our show. They're all a great, really cool, smart people we need to pay attention to. So 11:55 a.m. on Wednesday, join us with Merikay Hunt. The conversation is trust but verify.
Yeah. And going back to the MLK holiday, Ronald Reagan was the one who signed that into law. And I remember him. That's what he said about the Soviet Union. Yeah. Trust but verify. And I think that's good advice. There's so many people that want to put their hand in your pocket and grab that money or grab your identity. I mean, it's just crazy out there. Yeah. Hey, got a tip for you. And we're all human. At least I am.
Oh, really?
Last time you checked, Teddy, are you human or are you a humanoid?
I may be a hologram, Randy. I'm not going to tell you.
To cut to the chase, don't assume the worst. A few days back, me, I'm in bed by 7:00, Teddy, and nestled in my little cocoon and getting my 15 hours of sleep every night. Anyway, point is, I got a text that came in after I had been in bed for a good while, and 2 words. It said, "Call me," and it was from a friend of mine. Actually, one of the ones that helps, when we do the sandcastles. Yeah. Build the sandcastles. And so when I got up this morning, I saw that, and my mind raced to think, one of our team members is a little bit older, not a lot, a little bit older, and has had some poor health over the years. And my first thought was he passed away or something bad had happened to him. So I waited till the next morning until a little bit into the morning to give him a call, and come to find out, no problem at all. My friend, he had just texted me. He said, "Hey, we're having a party, a little get together, having a good time." And he said, "You came up in conversation," and he said, "I just thought to give you a call, but I didn't know if you'd be awake or asleep, so I shot you a text." And so all good on this end. Hope you are. So we had a nice conversation, but here again, your mind can race to the negative. If you're in a job hunt, you haven't heard back in a while. Yeah. Things on the job itself, if you feel like you're kind of getting squeezed out or you're not included in certain meetings, or that you just, there's one of our thoughts with goodwill is to, or behaviors is to assume positive intent. Yeah. And unless until proven otherwise, but assume positive intent. And it's easier said than done a lot of times, because we feel like if there's something here we need to protect ourselves or we need to
Right.
guard against, and we tend to focus on the negative. But I try to encourage guys, try to focus a little bit more on the positive, or at least don't get mired in the muck too much.
Yeah.
Try to avoid
that
it.
aligns in some respects to the Merikay conversation coming up. Trust but verify,
Yeah.
So, all right, here's mine, Randy.
Yeah.
I'm just as smart as a freaking whip, man. Whatever that means.
Attack. Are you sharp as a tack? Sharp as a tack?
I'm sharp as a tack too. Yeah, I'm sure I am. Yeah. But
smart as a whip. That's right.
I saw this. I saw these two words used in a message to me today.
Okay.
And I wonder why. Why do we use those words? And should we be using better words? But here's the words that we use. We use them all the time. And then here's the words I think we should use instead. Are you ready?
Yep.
People say, hey, Teddy, do this. Hey, Randy, do this. Take care of this for me. And our response back is no problem. Where our response should be, I'm happy to help. It's the same response, but I think happy to help are more positive words than no problem.
Hey, let me ask you this one. When somebody says, hey, Teddy, thanks, you really did a great job. Thanks for helping me. And you wouldn't say no problem, but when somebody says, you bet, I'd rather hear it, you're welcome. Yeah. I was happy to help.
Yeah.
Versus saying, sure, you bet.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are little semantic things that we.
But it's all about how that affects this thing up here,
Yep, it is. So never hurts to acknowledge a compliment. And I've known people who almost feel like they're expecting you to compliment them, and they're not even appreciative of that, and they just move on. Like I expected you to say that, and it's a shame. Acknowledge it. So
yeah. So
hey, Teddy, Wednesday coming up.
All right, man. Look, you go off and have a great day. Enjoy the life, and I will see you at 11:55 on Wednesday, man. Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, see you.
All right, bye.